Hey, today I want to do Stephanie's homework on video, and I will do one topic at a time, and this topic will be about importance of why I want to do this work, meaning to be a life coach in the future when I'm stronger. Well, basically, right now I'm doing a video journaling every single day in Japanese and English. And the English version is to show my mentors, Stephanie, Omid, and Lucy. And so that, they can, be my guardians to give me feedbacks and so that I can get more hints to make myself better and get myself out of this minor depression. And the importance why I want to be a life coach is because I think, depression or being stuck is very, very common these days, and I suffered from it so many times in a very deep way. And observing this world, I realized there's several types of depressions. And but still, like in a big way, I feel like depression is, you know, pretty much the same process with the same how do you say it, system that it works in our brain. But then it varies in depth. And how it varies is it can start from fatigue, and it can start from, oh, I'm not feeling so great. And that's a little bit light, right? And maybe laziness kicks in, is like you start not caring about taking care of yourself because you're so tired to do it and you're kind of drained. So you start care less about what you eat, what you wear, or maybe, you know, you used to go to massage or something, but you start not doing those things. You start feeling really, really like lazy to meet people or socialize, or you feel like socializing is kind of like a burden, and that's probably another, deeper phase. And ultimately, wanting to die mode, this is something really, really critical, which every day you think about how to escape and how to leave the world, or just think about just shutting down the whole thoughts and relationship from the world and wanting to escape mode. So I think typically, I don't know, like, I'm not like major in psychology or anything, but from my experience and observation of the world, I think this three phases is kind of like a funnel maybe. And I think there's a lot of people that is in phase one, which is really, really light. And next is a little bit more deeper. You start dysfunctioning and, starting to stop caring about yourself, love yourself. And in the end, you're in this, mode that you're shutting out the whole people around you because you don't trust anyone, and, you just want to escape, and you just feel everybody's favor is just a burden, and you just want to leave the world. So basically, I went down to that road, which is two times in my life. First 14, and second time when I was in 30 and when I was in a relationship with my ex. And I truly wanted help, but the thing is that I didn't know how to get help or seek support. And finally, right now, I'm seeking help to get out of this hole that I dug by myself. And but you don't realize you're digging it, right? Because you're just really in it and you don't see anything, and you don't have too much opportunity to get feedbacks from other people, like honest feedback, because I wasn't building that relationship around people and I didn't know how to. But then with a little support, who went through that process and went through the same process, similar process, and who was able to get out of that and stay connected to the world and stay connected to themselves. Seeking support from those people was something very valuable to me, because it's accelerating my process to heal, and also try to be more, how do you say it, looking forward to tomorrow kind of feeling, right? Like looking forward to tomorrow, that is something very, very important to me, because at one point I didn't want tomorrow to come, and it was really, really tough time. And when things are tough, things, the time goes by really slow, and also like breathing, like you literally feel suffocated. You feel like you really need an oxygen tank. Yeah, you really feel that way, because you're stressed out. Right now I'm a little bit stressed out too. It was a very hectic day, but aside from that, I think that's the reason why it's important to me, because I know that I'm still in the middle of the journey of getting out of the hole, but I know once I get out of it, I'm pretty sure that my experience will be valuable for the people who is going through the similar experience. And probably it's typical to some groups, experiencing abuse, experiencing codependency, experiencing this, I don't know how to make things better, or I don't know how to live a fulfilled life. Those questions are actually always there, and people are looking for it, but sometimes people are just so hurt that they cannot even ask those questions, or maybe too shy to ask those questions. And it also depends on who is around you, right? And we are constantly in a world that people judge you and criticize you, and but the thing is that that's something that you really cannot change. And at some point you have to really kind of accept that, and shut your mind and your ears out of those voices, but hear your own voices, to be confident and speak up for yourself. And I think this is not easy for people who never learned how to do it, or people who never seen people do it. So I think I'm kind of really experimenting with myself too, to change my inner dialogue, and trying to find a better way to construct my life, design my life. And yeah, so I guess this I'm so glad that I started this video journaling, because I'm pretty sure in the future I can look back and see myself, and hopefully that future me will be like, wow, like I cannot even imagine, like what I've went through. Things are so great, right? So if I can get to that point, then I'm pretty sure that it will be helpful for other people too. And I feel like this can really fulfill my heart a lot. And it's also social needs as well. And I think it's really important for kids to learn this, taking care of yourself, and fulfilling yourself, self-love, having a positive, well, not only positive, but try to listen to your negative voices too. But then once you accept those negative voices, try to shift it into something more positive or more neutral way. like, you know, how to understand your emotion. This kind of education, I think it's super important, and probably in within, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, it might be obligation to learn about it in future schools. You never know. I mean, probably, I feel like, you know, the world is like developing world is actually moving towards that direction, because people are starting to realize how emotions are important, because people die from it. And although they're healthy, like perfectly physically healthy, people die from it. People claim they are depressed and they cannot function anymore and leave the company. And you know, it's just draining, just not only you, right? Even when your best friend or your mother or anyone around you is in that stage, nobody around them is happy at all. And that's just so sad, right? Like, even though healthy people, we feel sad about it, right? So I think this is one of like the common issues that people go through. And if there's a way that I can support that, I think that would be like, I would have a great life, and that will definitely give, you know, give me a of, how do you say, a sense of contribution to this world. And but one thing I do have to remind myself is that whether I do it or not, it won't affect my value. I don't have to do it. And you know, it's not like I shouldn't be obsessed and feel like, you know, I have to, no matter what, which that was the drive I had before, which made me go into that, you know, hole. So it's more like a reminder that that's something, it would be great if I could do it, but even if I couldn't, that's okay. I still aim to have a great life. But that's practically the reason why I want to be a life coach, and probably target. For me, I feel like Japanese market. I have to convert the language into Japanese too, but you know, Japan is, I think, compared to Western country, Japan is less aware about this emotion, EQ aspect of things. And you can tell that's that Japan is operated that way by listening to people's working environment. So when the criteria of the superior, you know, makes when people are depressed or something, right? Like, you know, in Japan, people don't take it too seriously yet. And but then still, people are still like, some people just commit a suicide, and you know, it's coming there, right? So I feel like there's a lot of demand in Japan, and also I do want to do it in English as well. Maybe targeting more in maybe immigrants or English is a second language kind of people, because you know, it's a little bit like an identity crisis that you go through when you immigrate. And you go to a different country, because you experience the whole different dynamics, right? And when you experience that, your old dynamics kind of shout out, and you know, kind of go through this adjusting period. It's a little bit like culture shock, right? And when you go through that phase, you know, for some people it's fun, and for some people it's just so tough, right? Especially for the people who wasn't really willing to come here. So but still, like, it would be great if a person feels like, oh, I want to live, and I know I can make my life better, and I know I can make it fun and exciting, right? That's if people have that ability, you know, I think it would be so great, and that's what I want for myself. So first me, but well, since this was an assignment, so that's practically the reason why. I guess I'll go on to the next homework. So see you later. Bye bye.